Welcome to LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering. In this session, we have to discuss the subject that is instrumentation in agriculture and food processing. I am your instructor, Jayesh Prajapati. In this session, we have to discuss the subject chapter, that is chapter number 6, that is a greenhouse effect and instrumentation setup for it. Now, in this chapter, we have to discuss the content that is a greenhouse effect and instrumentation setup in greenhouse, and next the witness and respiration measurement and data logging. Then we have to discuss the leaf area length and evapotranspiration. And last, we have to discuss the agrometeorological instrumentation and weather station. So that is a content that we have to study in this chapter. Now, before we have to start this session, first of all, the topic that is a greenhouse. So basically a greenhouse is a chamber, a closed glass chamber. You can see in this figure. In this figure you can see that is a glass chamber. In this glass chamber plant is connected. Then whenever the sun rays is entered to this glass chamber, it is entered in one way and it is penetrated by the glass plate and it reflects back to this chamber. That means the ray is not going outside the chamber and the whole chamber temperature will be increased. So that is a greenhouse effect. Then in this greenhouse you can see that is inside the pictures of the greenhouse. So whenever the temperature will be increased, that times the growth of the plant is also increased. So that's why this concept will be used. That's why a greenhouse is used in these cold areas countries. Now you can see that is also pictures of greenhouse inside this greenhouse. Now in the next, we have to discuss the greenhouse effect. Actually we have discussed before that is a greenhouse, and now we have to discuss the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect, why it is called greenhouse effect? Because it is look like a greenhouse chamber. So now in this you can see whenever the sun solar rays radiation is going to this earth surface, then the sum of the radiation that will be absorbed by the earth and the sum of the radiation that will be reflected by the earth body, similar to the greenhouse. Whenever the sun rays is entered, sun rays that is reflected back by the glass of this greenhouse. But here in this greenhouse effect, there is a greenhouse gases. Okay, carbon dioxide, CO2, nitrous oxide, methane, that are the greenhouse gases that are available in the atmosphere. So by the reflection of the earth, it is back to this earth surface. Okay, in this earth surface, so that's why the atmosphere temperature will be increased. So due to this gases, the gas will be work like a glass of this greenhouse. So that's why it is called a greenhouse effect. And due to this gases and temperature increase, there is a problem in global well-being. Okay, so that why this is called a greenhouse effect. Now in the next you can see a greenhouse effect is basically what? First, the solar energy will be reflect on the earth surface. Okay, some of the solar energy that is absorbed by the earth surface and some of these heat will be reflect to this atmosphere, and due to these greenhouse gases, this ray will be returned back to the earth bodies. Okay, that means whatever the solar energy absorbed by the earth and whatever the energy that will be reflect, it is both going to this earth surface. So earth will be very heat. So we have to maintain these greenhouse gases. and it is also very importance of this greenhouse gases. Now we have to discuss this greenhouse effect. You can see similar what we are trying to explain the greenhouse effect. You can see that is a greenhouse, transparent greenhouse. You can see there is a no any dark close, but it is a transparent. So you can see whenever the sun rays is enter to the greenhouse, then this sun rays will be reflect back to this chamber, and the chamber will be heat, similar to our greenhouse effect. So that is the pictures of greenhouse effect. Now we have to discuss these greenhouse gases. So there are different greenhouse gases available in the atmospheres. So first, that is a water vapor. So water vapor, that is basically available in these our atmospheres, that also affect our atmosphere. Then carbon dioxides, we know that our respiration process, we have collect the oxygen, and we have given carbon dioxide, CO2 in these atmospheres. So CO2, if CO2 is more in this atmosphere, then it will be affect more, because we have to balance this greenhouse effect gases. So CO2, that is also by burning of burning also it can be generated. So we have to maintain CO2, because CO2 can collect by the trees. So we have to plant more the trees in this our earth. So we have to balance greenhouse gases. Then methane. Methane is also we can say that this is a heavy gases that is available below and above the sea levels. Okay. Then nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide N2O, that is also greenhouse gases. That gases, next, these gases are available in greenhouse. Then nitrous oxide is generated by the nitration process also. Then we have to discuss the fluorinated gases. Fluorinated gases is also called as a chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. Then hydrochlorofluorocarbons, HCFCs. Then hydrofluorocarbon, HFCs. Then perfluorocarbons, PFCFs. Then sulfur hexafluoride, SF6. So that are the fluorinated gases that are available in our atmosphere. These are generated by man-made activities like industrial activities and by fossil fuels. So that kind of gases are generated by the man-made activities. So we have to balance these gases in the our atmosphere. Then the greenhouse effect. So we will try to explain what the sun rays that is entered on the earth bodies, that will be reflected by this earth, but due to the layers of greenhouse gases, it will be reflect back. Okay, you can see there is a cover to this our earth, okay, by ozone layer cover. So greenhouse gases that will be covered the earth body. Okay, so that is a greenhouse effect. So this due to this our earth becomes very hot. So it is having a global warming. So we have to maintain these greenhouse gases. Now we know that trees will be cutting. So we have to maintain our trees. We have to maintain the trees, because whenever the trees will be cut, then it will not collect the CO2s. So whenever this tree will be cut, there will be increasing the carbon dioxide in this our atmosphere. So we have to plant more and more trees in our earth. Then industrial activities, fossil fuels. So we know that different kind of industrial activities that will be increase methane, nitrous oxide in this our atmosphere. So we have to maintain this industrial activities also. Then we know that because of this activities, earth industrial activities and trees cutting, our earth becomes very hot. Why earth becomes very hot? Because of greenhouse gases. Then life is not possible without the greenhouse gases. So we know that if we have to live in the our earth, then it is not possible because of greenhouse gases, because the greenhouse gases will cover our earth body and it will protect our earth body by the sun rays. So we have to maintain these greenhouse gases by planting more trees, limited use of industrial activities. So that's why we have to maintain our uh, greenhouse gases. Then industry, we know that increase in industrial activities, due to this our earth becomes very hot. So next, melting the ice cold area. What are the effect of greenhouse effect or global warming? That are the one of the effect of global warming, like when in the ice cold area, some countries having a lot of ice area that will be melt. So due to this melt of this ice area, our land area will be reduced. So in next you can see the reducing our the land area, because sea level will be increased, that's why reducing our the land area. Then now in this topic we have to discuss the greenhouse instrumentation. In the greenhouse instrumentation, we have to use our greenhouse and we have to make our greenhouse by automation. Whatever the our chapter or the subject name, instrumentation and automation. So we have to use sensors. So in the greenhouse instrumentation, we have to use the sensor, that is temperature sensor. Then we have to discuss the humidity sensors, then light sensor. So that are the three sensors that can be used in our greenhouse instrumentation. And also we have to make this instrumentation by using microcontroller. So in this figure you can see, by using microcontroller we can maintain our greenhouse temperature, humidity and light. So if we have to make our greenhouse by automation, then we have to maintain by this kind of sensor, and we have also connect here the drivers and relay, that will relay will operate by coolers, heaters and light bulbs that can be operated by this relay, and that can give a signal to the microcontroller. So if we have to maintain a temperature, coolingness and brightness, so that's why we have to make this kind of automation or instrumentation setup for this greenhouse. So this will be greenhouse instrumentation. Then we have to if we have to ventilation, respiration, that are the next topics of our subject that we will discuss in our next video. So in this session we have to discuss only this now. Okay, thank you very much.